Hey there, Anna here, founder of Curvy Yoga, here today with you for another episode of From the Curvy Mat. I can hardly wait to get started. How about you? Alright, our question from our reader today is, I struggle to find a good yoga class that I can attend in person. Any advice? I want to go somewhere that is curvy friendly, even if they don't offer a specific curvy yoga class. That is such a great question. I gotta tell you, I still get nervous when I go to new yoga classes. And I know exactly what to do to modify the practice for my body. But it's still really easy for me to get into a narrative of like, am I gonna get fit in? Are they gonna think I'm brand new? Da, 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 da. So I've got 5 tips for you. Here we go. Tip number 1. Figure out what you want. So figure out when you're available to practice, how far you want to go from your house, what style of yoga you're looking for, what type of teacher you'd like. Once you kind of have a sense of what your needs are, it becomes much easier to sort through the information that's available out there about yoga classes in your area. Tip number 2, there's my hand. Tip number 2, Google it. So most yoga classes, not all, but most yoga classes these days are listed online. So if you do a quick search, look for yoga and the name of your town, you're likely to get a great list. From there, you can start looking at the types of classes that are offered. So if you're new to yoga, if you're looking for a curvy friendly class, I definitely recommend starting with classes called beginners or gentle, just to kind of get a sense of, okay, this is a space where hopefully they're going to be making space for people of all different experience levels and abilities in the class. Tip number 3, get in touch ahead of time. I know can sometimes be a little bit awkward to send an email to someone you've never met before, but in my experience, it's a less awkward than having a shit moment when you get into class and realize it is not the right fit for you. So take a moment. If you found a class online, you're most likely going to have access to the teacher's contact information, and just send them an email and let them know what your needs are, what you're looking for, and if they feel like their class will be a good fit. That both gives you a feel for how they respond and what information you get, and it also gives them a heads up that you're going to be there so they can greet you and you can connect even more easily once you're in the room. Tip number 4, put on your scientist lab coat. What I mean by that is approach the class with an attitude of experimentation. It often takes quite a while to find a yoga teacher who you like. Now, there are those times where you go to a class and you just fall in love. You love the teacher, you love the class, you love the students, you love the space. Everything about it is a dream come true. Other times you go and you're like, meh, it's not great, it's not terrible. Other times you go, you're like, I would literally never come back here even if someone paid me $1 million. Well, maybe $1 million is a stretch, but you know what I mean. So having that attitude of experimentation can help you approach it and not feel defeated if you go to one class and you don't like it. That doesn't mean yoga isn't for you. It just means that particular class isn't for you. And that brings me to my last tip, number 5. 5, right? 5. My 5th tip is keep trying. So if you do find a class that you don't like, keep going. Try different styles, try different teachers, try different times and locations. And that's not only all about if you didn't find something, then you have to keep going. It's also about just seeing what's out there. Because you might totally find a class that you really like on your first try, but then you might think like, wow, what would it be like to try another person's class or to try a different style or whatever. So keep going and build up your repertoire of what's available in your town. That way, if your schedule changes, the class changes, whatever, you don't have to totally start over. All right, so lay it on us in the comments below. How do you find a yoga teacher that you like? Thanks so much for watching. Bye. You enjoyed this video. If you know somebody else who you think would be interested, I would love for you to share it on Facebook or Twitter. Come hang out with me on the Curvy Yoga Facebook or Twitter page. And If you'd love a little more curvy yoga in your life, go to my website, sign up, and you'll get 2 free chapters of my book, Permission to Curve. Bye!